guys, it's Kim here, aka Juto from High Rollers, and today we're gonna do a little High Rollers Q&A. So you guys sent in a lot of questions for the High Rollers gang, which we're gonna go through and answer now. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any time with Trot, aka Cam Buckland, does not give a fuckland, because he is so busy in hat films and trailer and work world at the moment that like the last time I tried to ask him, he kind of just looked at me like with that really far away look. So I don't want to bother him, he's so busy right now. But yeah, I'll be chatting with Matt, with Katie, with Mark, and we've got a whole bunch of answers for you guys about various questions you asked us, plus some teasers about what's going to happen over Christmas. Yeah, and lots of behind the scenes information. So let's jump now to everybody's Q&As. Yeah, and come join us at 5 PM GMT on twitch.tv/Yogscast for tonight's High Rollers. And if you haven't seen High Rollers, I thoroughly encourage you to come and join us. It's one of the things I'm really passionate about, and really passionate about all year, in fact. And you don't really need to have seen the whole year's worth of campaign to get into it. You could definitely just dive in and pick it up. So don't be thrown off by the kind of all the stuff we've done so far. We've got a little intro video that introduces everything, you know, to this moment, to this time. Well, actually, not to this exact moment, but it's quite a good intro video that gives you all the story. And yeah, just come join us. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of silliness, it's a lot of emotion and acting, probably not acting, a lot of terrible roles. But yeah, 5 PM GMT on twitch.tv/Yogscast every Sunday. Come join us for some fun. But now, let's catch up with the gang and yeah, see what behind the scenes information we can give you about the world of Iraq. Iraq, not Iraq, Iraq. So I'm joined by Katie, aka Elora. So we're gonna answer some more questions. So first things first, there was a lot of questions about what inspired Elora? How did you create her?
Well, I always really liked elves. So I knew that I wanted to play an elf straight up. The reason her appearance came about was kind of when I was reading the Player's Handbook. Well, it wasn't the Player's Handbook, it was Sword Coast Adventures book or something, I think. Chris had it. But there was like different races of elves, and it's not just like a high elf. There was like sun elves and moon elves, and the description of moon elves is what really caught my eye. And it was just how they weren't they were sort of more accepting of other races and just seemed generally like a little bit nicer. I don't know, but I just thought that sounded really cool. Mark says that in his campaign it's just a high elf, but it's just got a different appearance, but that's where a lot of the inspiration for Elora's personality came from. Yeah. As well as parts of sort of my own personality, I guess, that I project into Elora. I didn't really want her, because I've never played D&D before, I didn't want her to be too difficult for me to RP for a long time. For example, when we did the other characters, the drow characters that we did, and I was quite aggressive. Oh, that was scary. It was good fun, it was really good fun, but at the same time, the whole time I was playing that character, I was like, I could slip up at any moment, I can't keep this going. And I think doing it for 3 hours at that level. You were so good though, like I would love to see you full time. I hate everyone, I hate you, you're beneath me. So character. Maybe for the next one I'll be really aggressive. So unfortunately the bits that I filmed with Mark, the footage corrupted, but luckily we were able to salvage the audio because his answers were really good. So please excuse the shonkiness of the bits with Mark. Yeah, we lost the footage. Thank you to the camera gods. But yeah, all good. Let's go. So this, of course, is Sherlock Holmes, our dungeon master extraordinaire.
Hello.
So we've got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
So here's an interesting question.
Okay. Hit me.
So there was someone who tweeted us back, Sparkus Clark.
Sparkus Clark.
Other than a Lovecraft reference, I never knew what Yogscast was until you folks. How did you find me and decide to do D&D?
So it started, myself and Trot, I introduced Trot to Critical Role, which is Geek and Sundry's big D&D show. Him and Katie started watching that, and I've wanted to do something very similar for a long time. And during the Christmas live streams in 2015, I did a Star Wars D&D for Hat Films, and we had a great time, it was really funny. And I ran some other RPG games in the office outside of work so that they wasn't streamed. And when it came around to the new year, they were looking for streams to take on the weekly kind of streaming schedule. And I just said to Trot, look, I'd love to do a fucking D&D show, should we do one? And we knew that some of the guys wouldn't be free, so I knew like Smithy and Barry and that probably wouldn't be able to do it. We said, okay, well, who can we do it? Well, Katie would like to play. Okay, Katie can play. you know, that makes sense. She'd been watching Critical Role. She was really interested in playing,
Big D&D.
and wanted to give it a go. So we was like, okay, well that's that. I think I was speaking to you, and we'd mentioned the idea about playing a game. You said you wanted to play it for a
Yeah,
while.
I was super hot.
And so I was like, okay, well, Kim, do you want to do it as a stream? And you were like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. And we were kind of like, well, I need at least 4 players. And we'd done it was because you'd done the scripting with Matt for
To Infinity.
To Infinity.
Yeah.
And Matt had written all this crazy good like script
Character
stuff and character
stuff,
stuff.
yeah.
And he'd done some voice acting and performance in it. And I was like, well, I think Matt would really enjoy it. And he'd never played D&D,
No.
never even thought about playing
No.
D&D. But we actually went to him and we both said, look, we'd really like to have you on this thing.
Yeah.
We think you'd be a great fit. And he was like, well, I'll give it a go. And that's pretty much where it started.
So I'm joined by Matt, aka Trelemar Alith.
Hello.
Or Trelemar Alif.
Alif.
Yeah. Along with, what was it, Nasal Tree.
Nasal Tree?
Nalise Tree.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone's
of
like,
course.
Nasal Tree.
Yeah. It should be Trelemar Aloof.
Aloof, yes, because you are very aloof.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration behind Trelemar Alif?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
My inspiration, I think it was just, I had the player's handbook and I was looking through and I was like, oh, Drow. That sounds cool.
That was literally it.
And that was it.
Literally it.
Warlock. They sound cool.
Yeah.
I liked the whole idea of being linked to like this other power.
But how about the whole, like, you know, coolness? Why did you go for quite a cool character? Like, why didn't you?
I don't know.
Because we've got Alora who's super nice, we've got Juto who's super grumpy, we've got Cam who's super dopey.
Yeah,
But you've gone for the kind of like, I don't know, like
I don't know, I think it was just probably,
highbrow.
yeah, I think I was just looking from the picture, and it was just like, yeah, you know, that from what Mark had told me about what they were like, I just sort of thought that would work with that sort of character, you know, it being aloof and a bit of a badass. Obviously, I haven't turned out to be much of a badass, 'cause I fall over
Yeah,
all the
fall over
time.
all the time. But like, one thing is, because I remember when we first got you into this, and you were, I wonder if your kind of Trelmar's aloofness is born a little bit from, this is your first D&D campaign.
It's probably...
You've never done D&D before.
Yeah.
And I remember when we first suggested it to Matt, and he was like, yeah. And because I'm like sort of your boss, I feel like there was a little bit of like, I better say yes, otherwise I might really offend her.
Well, this is the thing, you know, I was really umming and ahhing about it, and Kat was like, you should do it, you know, because like, if you don't like it, you don't have to carry on with it, you know, and I was like, alright, you know, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
But I think you could be right, you know, part of that aloofness is probably born out of the fact that I was like,
What am I doing? What am I doing with these nerds?
Yeah, exactly.
What am I doing with these nerds?
which is why, like, when I did your stuff, your
With
campaign
Barnabas.
with Barnabas, you know, he was such a different character,
Yeah.
more outlandish.
Because you knew
I knew
more about what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think for me anyway, having a more outlandish character, and I think it works with Granny Trell, is a lot easier to get a grip on.
Yeah.
And easier to do stuff with.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that will be the next character. I think he will be more not larger than life, but just a bit more out there, I think.
So on the subject of a next character, that's something that's come up a lot. People have been like, if you were to die, if Trelemar was to actually die, or, you know, just go off with Granamir or whatever, what would you do as a next character?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say too much because, you know, it'll spoil the surprise. But
Because he's actually rolled another character. Well, not you.
I've not rolled them, but I know the backstory.
You know what you're doing.
I mean, I haven't worked out like what class they'll be or anything yet. But I know the narrative behind them. And all I'll say is it's an elderly man. So, and there seems to be a theme, like it's either old women,
Yeah,
or
old women, old men, weird, outlandish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but very different from everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
That has popped up before.
The things that he's mentioned about it, I'm like, I'm not sure how he'd sit in the group.
I know. I've got it in my mind, and like whenever this comes up, I need to sit down and talk to Mark about this because I have in my head like the way I would love the character to be introduced to Juto and Alora and Cam.
Okay.
And it's like that would be amazing because it just sums up his character.
If I'm honest, it sounds like it's going to be a little bit controversial. Should this ever happen, it's going to be quite controversial.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hard sell, I think.
I think so.
Like,
I think he's going to be one of those characters that you have to grow to like them.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
That was the question everyone got as well. Is like, you know, if your character was to, I don't know, go off into the sunset or die or whatever, do you have any ideas for your next character? Is there anything you'd like to do? Would you be completely the opposite? Would you be sort of the same? What would you do?
I think I would go the opposite way.
Yeah?
I think I would go the opposite way from Alora, just to do something different. And I like the idea of doing like a barbarian or something really aggressive, just to completely counter it. But I've always, like, with the druid thing, I've always been attracted to like spell casting and magical sort of things. So it would be cool to go the opposite way from that completely. And that goes for like all games I play. Like, wow, I'm a mage. I always pick spellcasters and stuff. So yeah, I'd probably go barbarian and go nuts.
This is the thing, Mark's like trying to get me to be a barbarian. He keeps on saying to me, he literally said to me this morning, he was like, you should be a barbarian orc like Worf. He basically wants me to play Worf. Like, maybe probably because I go around the office a lot going like, death to the oppressors, you know, and stuff like this. You know, so like maybe we'll just roll a whole entire team of barbarian orcs. Just
barbarians.
Yeah, just smashing people up.
And I like the idea of being a really small barbarian.
That's the thing, yeah. I never want to be small though, because I get enough freaking small jokes in my life already. I'm like, when I RP, I want to do something that I'm not. You know, I want to be a badass fire-breathing monk. I want to be a tall person with muscles. So another question I got, which I thought was quite interesting. I can't find the tweeter, so sorry, tweeter.
Sorry.
They said that if you were to join our campaign as a player, what class and what race would you play?
I would be an elf assassin who's got a dark.
No, I wouldn't know. But I'd probably play something, because I can't not play. When I look at groups of D&D parties, I'm like, okay, what are they missing?
Yeah.
And I can't help but think, okay, well, shit, they don't, like, I look at our group and we don't have a big heavy fighter.
Yeah.
So I would probably play a fighter of some kind. I probably would have played something I would have played a non-human, something maybe like a halfling fighter, or maybe something like a barbarian, like a big dumb barbarian or something like that. So yeah, that's probably what I would have played in the High Rollers group, because I can't not do that, like, oh, the party needs a tank or it needs a warrior or something like that. So I probably would have done that.
Male, female, other?
I normally play female characters. If you've noticed, in like anybody who watches High Rollers will know a lot of my NPCs tend to be female, just because I think that's just they're more awesome, really.
Yeah.
And I just, I can't be a woman in real life, so I can play them in D&D games.
Yeah.
So why not?
In the theatre of imagination.
Of the mind.
So what has been your favourite moments so far in the whole campaign?
Ooh, dearie me.
Or a highlights reel? What would your
Highlights
top
reel.
moments be?
I think Juto's death was excellent, because it was just so unexpected, so early on.
Nowhere.
You know, I think everyone just thought, you know, we won't die until much later.
Yeah.
And then when that just came out of nowhere, it was just like, oh my god.
But that's the thing, like, for me, I was just so kamikaze, because I was just like, oh, we're not good. It's just armor.
Yeah.
Like, how serious could it be? Oh. What?
Yeah.
Say what?
I know, it's mad. And I think that's one of the nice things about D&D, is it's so unpredictable. It's just nothing goes according to plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I quite liked all the stuff that we did when we were going on the trial for the Broken Sky.
Yeah.
That was
when
really
you and
cool.
me were like,
yeah,
you know, we'll join you.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of fun, and like, you know, trying to get into their hideout and then sort of going through all the trials. You know, the other week on the Manticore, that was pretty funny.
I have an image of it like a bucking bronco, like you were just like riding a bucking bronco in the sky, just like, this is fine.
That's it. I mean, the thing is, I said on stream, I was like, oh, you know, I did it because it's the troll thing to do, you know, he's just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna try and get this guy.
Yeah.
But actually it was because I thought, I am so obviously going to die this week.
He genuinely thought that was it.
Yeah, and I just thought, if I'm gonna die, let's just go all out and die in a blaze of glory and just be like, fucking let's get on a Manticore, let's do this. But, you know, it all paid off.
It paid off in the end.
Somehow, that natural 20.
That natural, oh my god, like.
I seldom roll them, but I rolled it that day.
Praise the gods. Because I rolled a natural 1 when I died. It was a 3 and then a 1, and I was like, oh, crap. So, a big question that we're getting a lot of is, what is your favourite moment so far?
I see it a lot, but Juto coming back to life was quite, just because of how emotional it was.
Oh my god, yeah.
I was fine until I locked eyes with Kim, and then I was gone.
Yeah, we all went.
Gone.
And I was trying to do my whole blood oath thing, and I looked at you and I was like, no!
Yeah, it was gone. So that, I will always remember that session, just because, oh my god, like, feels.
What about like meeting up with your parents?
Meeting my parents, because I gave Mark their names. I gave Mark the fact that I became a druid because of my mother being a druid. I didn't give him much else. I just said, just do what you want with them, because I want it to come as a surprise. And when he was just, even him just describing it, like you can probably see it in the VOD,
Yeah.
I just start to smile because I know that he's describing my parents. And that's just like,
Aww.
oh, that's my parents, like, and they're finally gonna become a part of it. That's pretty good. And
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, the Nalistri Frost, the whole Winter Spire thing
yeah, the
just now,
interaction you had with him, yeah.
it's quite interesting.
I
And
really
think,
enjoyed that, yeah.
I feel like Alora's like learning a little bit. It'll be really good for her to see another Spire, so yeah.
Like, I'd say personally, I think Juto's resurrection and perhaps the whole interaction she had with Korak when she first met him. So like when she first sees him and she's like, murderer! You know,
That
and-
was pretty
yeah,
intense.
that was
intense.
That was a lot of fun to RP. Like
Trying
that
to pull
was,
you
yeah,
off,
trying to
like,
pull me away.
please
And I'm
no.
just like, no, I'm gonna break out of this. No, I'm gonna break out of this, you know. And then the whole interaction when Korak was like, explain the truth, and I was like, what? Like, because I was genuine, because like Mark, of course, never let us know any of this. So when it all
Yeah.
happened, and he was like, you know, here's the situation, and I was just like, because before that session, I was like, well, this is it. I'm gonna have the big showdown with Korak. You know, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna murder him? And then he was like, here's the rug. I'm just pulling it out from under you. And I was like, so final question. What do you think Mark told Crownrend?
Oh God, I don't know.
What did Mark do with
What
Crownrend?
happened right before that? Oh, you were crown rending and then you dismissed him. That's what.
That made you scared. That made you legit scared. You were just like, huh? Like, you know.
I'm not going to tell you what Crownrend's done to Juto.
No.
That's
no.
off limits.
There were a lot of questions. So I tweeted out the other day saying, what do you guys want to ask us? And the number one question was, what did Crownrend say to Juto? What did you write on Juto's character sheet?
What does Crownrend do?
And
Not
we're just
telling
like,
you have to find out.
you'll just have to tune in and find out. I mean,
Mainly because I want the others to find out.
yeah,
I don't want them to find out what.
yeah. They have some suspicions. They're pretty much all wrong.
Part of me is wondering if Crownrend is like trying to take those hit points and come back. When you dismiss him, if you can't dismiss him straight up, you can't just be like, I dismiss him. Part of me thinks, no, I didn't look, she didn't look. But part of me is thinking, is she not able to dismiss him properly anymore? I don't know. It could be so many things, but these two are far too secretive.
So one question we're getting for you as well is, who's your favorite NPC?
Ooh,
That's a good one, I think.
ooh, yeah. I quite like the owner of the Unicorns patch. What's his name?
Ennoran.
Ennoran
He's
Swiftly.
my favorite as well. I have
really
a
like
soft
him.
spot for him.
Yeah.
Like just how beleaguered he seems every time he sees us now. He's like, oh god, it's you guys again. Please
Yeah.
no. Please no.
He's excellent.
Probably Tharisden.
Oh god, yes. Tharisden.
The Beholder.
Oh, yeah.
The Bastards.
The Bastards.
But I think people want to see a bit more Granny Troll. We haven't seen Granny Troll for
I haven't
ages.
seen Granny Troll in a while. I think the last time we saw Granny Troll was when she flashed those teenagers. So, I don't know. Got to use her sparingly. You know, it's got to be like a bit of a treat when she turns up.
We can only pay for so much therapy.
Yeah.
So yeah, instantly, the whole story behind those teenagers. So this was when we were doing the festival thing.
Yeah.
And the whole idea was they were actually going to come up. Mark was properly going to RP like, oh, I really fancy you. You're well fit to Juto.
Yeah.
And he was like, you wanted to see how I'd react to that, and I was just like, she just wouldn't understand.
Aw.
Like I feel like Juto's become almost like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
where she just doesn't understand concepts outside of the factual. So for someone to be like, you're well fit, she'd be like, well, yes, I'm a monk. I have to be. I have to be. You know.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to see
Oh, that's
maybe,
a shame.
maybe in the future.
You never know, they might come
You
back.
never know. They might. I don't know.
Probably
I'll
not.
do with Granny Troll around. Nope.
Is that Granny gone? Not gonna get boots out again, is she?
Jolly Izzy says, being a black gay kid, I love the diverse NPCs so far. So, does it seem like there will be more diversity in the future?
I don't aim to I don't think I'm gonna make this character gay because I want to have more gay characters in it. I just make cool characters, and some of them are gay, and some of them are transgender, and some of them are male, some of them are female. I just want to have a broad range of characters that are interesting people, and then the hope is that people like those characters, no matter what they are or who they are or anything like that. I don't try and aim to do stuff. There probably will be more diversity just because I want to make interesting characters in the future. But yeah, that's kind of my answer on that. Like, I don't aim to do anything in particular, but I'm glad that people like the fact that it's diverse. I just think that makes more sense and makes the world feel a bit more proper. It makes the world feel more real.
It's what you said as well, like, it's a fantasy world with like dragons and demons and stuff like that. Why shouldn't we have more
absolutely,
like openly gay people?
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, because the world of Iraq that I've created, I didn't want, like, being gay is not a big thing. Like, it's kind of like, it's fucking whatever, because that's kind of a exactly. And it's kind of nice that I can just create a world where there isn't fucking bullshit prejudice and stuff like that. Like, I can just go, it's fine, and boom, you know. But we still have things like racism. Like, there's still, like, you know,
between the Dragonborn
and you know, there's a lot of stuff like that going on. The Drow and elves and stuff like that. There is still these bad things, but it's kind of nice that I can say, like, you can love who you want, and it's fine. You know?
How you want.
So
who you want, how you want, which is how it should be. So January 17th.
January 17th is the official anniversary of it.
Yeah, so that's coming up.
Which is nuts, which is crazy nuts.
I know, right? A whole year of antics.
And people have stuck with us, like the fact that, you know, people have watched the whole thing, and that blows my mind.
Exactly.
That's 3 hours
totally
every week
crazy.
that people have watched.
Or binge watch. We've had a
watch.
lot of binge watches recently, and God, guys, you need therapy. So kind of on the subject of the anniversary, Jonesy16 says, have we any planned dates for the conclusion of season 1?
The season 1 was kind of added to the shirt, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, I like it. Hadn't really thought about where the seasons would fall. I personally think, in my head, the conclusion of this Allura stuff, that will basically take you guys to about level 9 or so. Because you're level 7 now, you're probably going to level up this week, and then level 9 will be the conclusion of the Allura stuff. And that, to me, is a good natural endpoint for season 1, because it means that everybody's had their own little personal story. Like, whether that's been little things, like with you and Korak and finding out all about that, or Cam and Dmitriev have had, like, had, like, his thing, Trelemar had the Search of the Mask, and now Allura's got her moment. We've also set up this bigger arc that's kind of encompassing all of it with a Broken Sky, and now this is the point where, like, okay, and now things kind of level up, and we're going to go into the next thing. It
sounds like as well we might be able to do it before the end of the year, so almost the anniversary.
Yeah, I think so. I think like almost be like the next starting off point. It really depends on how things happen.
We will carry on. Like, we're always going to be here, always rolling on Sunday. Always rolling on Sunday. So a lot of people have been asking what's going to happen over the Christmas live streams, because obviously Yogscast have the big Christmas charity drive. So are we still rolling? What's going on?
So what's happening is it's currently planned that we will have High Rollers on the 4th of December. Now, there is going to be a proper announcement about all the streaming schedules and stuff like that. It's still being locked down. That's why I'm really grumpy and tired. The plan is currently to have High Rollers on the 4th of December, which will be a normal kind of episode. It's not going to be too fancy. Obviously, all the donations and stuff will go towards the Jingle Jam, but it's not going to be a special episode or anything like that. It's going to pretty much be a normal episode. The 18th is going to be a double session. 6 hours, we're in the room.
What?
Yeah, sorry mate. So it's going to be a longer session. We won't probably be playing for that 6 hours. We will have a break at some point. But it's going to be a longer session. It's going to be a Christmas special, which means that it won't be a canonical episode. So it won't affect the current storyline. It will kind of be a side story. Same characters. Same characters, yeah. It's going to be like Juto and Cam and all those characters. Hoping to have a very cool guest come and join us. Fingers crossed. She said that she's up for it. She's not from the Yogscast. She is involved with another big D&D stream, which will be really cool. I won't say too much more, but she's going to try and come down. And yeah, it's going to be like a nice, fun, silly Christmas special one. I'm still working out exactly what I want to do.
Do you want to tease him?
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna, because I like the idea of kind of doing like a Christmas tale, the Charles Dickens kind of, but with Juto and the gang.
Yeah, where they try and teach Juto the meaning of Christmas.
But I think maybe
wintertime,
what I might do is take a bunch of different Christmas tales and kind of create something a bit more unique for it. So I'm probably gonna do something like that.
Because I was like, that's gonna suck, because Juto's just gonna be grumpy because she's like,
I won't have learned anything.
We don't celebrate Christmas. My parents were killed in front of me when I was a child. I was orphaned and put in slavery all my life.
And then you have the lessons, and then at the end, and it's like, Juto, have you learned the meaning of Christmas? No, my parents are still dead.
There is still emptiness in my heart, and if anything, everything's more annoying because Cam is in my life.
So I am going to change it a bit. I kind of like the idea. There was some stuff that they did with Penny Arcade. They made a joke strip about like a D&D Christmas episode, and I've always loved this. And maybe I use this as the basis of a thing, but they have to steal the naughty list from Father Winter, and I do fucking love that idea.
That's pretty cool,
I
actually.
love that as an idea,
Okay.
or like maybe something of like helping him do something.
Cam would so be on that. Trell and
Absolutely,
Cam.
they're absolutely
Those
both
two.
on that list.
Top of the list.
But yeah, maybe something along those lines. I'm gonna figure it out. But there you go.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
My pleasure.
Our DM.
You know I love talking about D&D.
I know,
and
right?
high
He won't
rollers, so-
shut up.
And I'm working on more stuff around it as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully.
So we got some big things planned, some exciting times ahead. So come join us tonight, 5 p.m. GMT on twitch.tv/Yogscast every Sunday night at 5 p.m. GMT. And yeah, come roll with us.
Roll on Sunday.
Roll on Sunday.